Hey, good morning. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning on Friday, and just a quick video update to kind of go over some housekeeping and tell you to start off this one that today is going to suck. We're expecting some kind of an inflation report at 8:30, and the street is expecting a bad one, whatever that means. So we're going to be down pretty heavily this morning, I think, and that's on the heels of a couple of really bad days in a row. I mean, yesterday wasn't that bad, but it wasn't good. And so this is, I'm just letting you know that, this is part of the game. And this is why I use market timing. I've been talking about for the last, more than a week now that we are in a red market. Red market means you've got to be in the money more, or at least at the money, okay? Depending on your trading plan, depending on your personality, your risk management, your tolerance, all those things. So today's going to suck. Why? Well, we got a potential of a government shutdown, and that's never good. We've got some weird stuff going on in the White House. I'm not going to speculate on what that is, but I have my own ideas. That's not good. Bitcoin was down to 92,000 and change overnight, and I think it's still right around there. So that's not good for any of the cryptocurrency exchanges, miners, Bitcoin companies like MicroStrategy, none of those, right? So that's going to suck. Tesla is down because Tesla's run up, and everything that goes up eventually comes down at some point. And so hopefully you've been in the money, or at least getting the juice and protecting your downside. So there's a bunch of things. Let's go back to the market. Triple witching Friday, which means the expiration of a bunch of different kinds of options at the end of the quarter. And so this is the end of the quarter also where people are taking tax hits, right? Or they're doing all their tax stuff. They're using tax loss selling to go against their gains, and all these kinds of things are happening in the market. And so the market's been just selling off for basically 11, 12 days now. And we've only had one decent day in there, and I don't think it was that decent. And it depends on the stocks you're in. Take a look at the screen here, and you can see what's going on pre-market. And you can see everything on my screen. This is my watch list. These are the things that I'm interested in. There are other screens. This is my main watch list. Everything on the screen is red except for the treasuries, which treasuries suck. Compared to what we do in the cash flow machine, and gold, right? Safe haven assets. Even Bitcoin is down because Bitcoin does these kinds of things. When people sell off, they sell off liquid assets to raise cash for other things. This will end, okay? This will end. But this is what separates the good traders from the bad traders, or the weak ones, I should say. Maybe you're not bad. You just get you don't have a plan. You know how I always get on here and say, you got to have a plan? Well, you do, right? This is why you have to have a plan, because I know that there are a lot of people out there, because I see the comments here, that are freaking out, and so you got to have a plan. All right, this is going to be basically a housekeeping video. Let me tell you what I'm going to talk about real quick, okay? Because you might have to get some popcorn, buckle in. I'm going to be talking about a few things because I'm a little bit pissed off today. So we've got housekeeping. I'm going to talk about the math that I put out in the video yesterday and how a bunch of people didn't understand it. And I guess that's on me, but I thought I explained it. I'm going to re-explain it and show you the difference in the math, and then the explanation of how we use the system, and how mindset, as you're seeing today, is going to be the most important thing that you've got to develop. Okay? So again, today is probably going to suck. But the sucking, we want to get it out of the way, because on the other side of the suck is good. Like a bunch of good stuff is happening, right? We get rid of the weak holders, the people that can't handle the truth. Get rid of those people. Hopefully it's not you, unless that's part of your plan, that's fine. And then all of a sudden the market makers are like, cool, we got rid of all the people that couldn't handle it, and now we're going to go in and buy all their assets up for cheap. And so you're seeing things go on sale. I hate to use that term in the stock market, but on these big sell-offs, like, what's the difference in a company a week ago that was trading at $480 and today it's trading at $400? Like, the company didn't change, but the stock's down 20%. The stock's down 10%. There's other stocks that are all over the place, right? So nothing's changed fundamentally in the company. What's changed? The supply and demand of the stockholder. I hope you're not following me in these trades without knowing what you're doing. The idea is that you shouldn't just blindly follow some bald guy on the internet and do what he's doing because it looks exciting. I mean, it is exciting, but these are the times that are tough, right? They come back. I don't know when they come back. They might come back tomorrow, Monday, or they might come back, a month from now. But you've got to be able to sit through these or have a plan to get out and go to cash. if you haven't done it. If you don't know what you're doing, shame on you. I tell you every video, don't follow what I'm doing. Learn from what I'm doing. Understand what I'm doing. That's why I made 18 videos in this MicroStrategy series, so that you understand, hey, the market's going up, here's what I'm doing. The market's going down, here's what I'm doing. I'm not saying I'm the best trader in the world. I'm not telling you that you're going to make a gazillion dollars. I'm telling you I'm doing it this way, right? And if you want to do it this way, great. Just know what you're doing. Two kinds of people in the world: educated people and uneducated people, right? Trained and untrained. You know, if you're trained in something, that's awesome. If you're untrained in something, that's also awesome. But understand that you're untrained, you're uneducated, and get the education. You have the ability to fix it. Don't just follow people that do things on the internet because it looks good. I don't care what it is, right? I don't care if it's an OnlyFans account or whatever. Anyway, I don't have an OnlyFans account anymore. I closed it because people got tired of looking at my really sexy feet. Anyway, so I want to start explaining to you the math, but to set it up, I have to give you an example of what realized versus unrealized is, because some people in the comments last night frankly pissed me off. Right? And some of you are like, oh, your math is off. And okay, great. My math may be off. I don't think it is, but that's the way I do my math, and that's the way I've done it for 40 years. And I'm old now. So you're not going to make me use this new math that you have and question the things that I have. Great. I love it when you question, but if you question to snipe me, if you question to troll me, if you question to say that I'm doing something underhanded, I'm being the most transparent that I could possibly be. I'm putting my videos up practically every day about what I'm doing. So if you're saying that I'm, hiding something, like, what the hell are you talking about, dumbass? I'm putting my videos out there so that you can learn. If you don't want to learn, don't watch my channel. Don't comment. Like, if you think that, you don't like my zit on the top of my forehead, okay, maybe that's a comment that you could make, and I'll try to put a little makeup on it or something. But if you're telling me that I'm not being transparent, like, shame on you. Go watch somebody else's channel, man. I don't need you. I want people that are here to learn, and most of you are here to learn. So thank you. And by the way, I don't want to just harp on the wrong answers on the test like the teachers did. I want to harp on the people that did comment, and that you guys are appreciating what I'm doing and you're learning from it. And that's the whole thing here. Like, we're all humans trying to get better, and I'm just trying to share information. All right, so we have realized and unrealized positions. Just so you know, and this might be basic for a lot of you, but a realized position is a position that you've closed, that you've taken off the table, right? In every trade, you open a trade and then you close the trade. When you close it, it's a realized position. A trade that isn't closed is still on the books, it's open, it moves around and fluctuates with the market value. That's an unrealized position, right? I mean, I probably don't need to say that, but realized positions are closed positions, unrealized positions still are moving around with the market, okay? The value hasn't been taken off the table. If you want to realize what everything is all together, you take your realized and your unrealized position, you net them out, and that's what your gain is. Now, I showed this spreadsheet yesterday, and then I showed a screenshot of what is actually going on in my account. And some of you just blew off the screenshot and didn't say that said that I wasn't telling you what it was. Well, go back to 1638 on yesterday's video, and you could see the screenshot, the actual live screen, and what the value of my base position was. I'll show you what I mean, and I'll make it simpler today so you can understand. Because maybe I wasn't clear, and I want to be clear. Okay, I don't want anybody to be misled by anything. So you remember yesterday, I put the spreadsheet up of all of my trades. Most of them are closed. The ones that are not closed are this base position. That's this section up here. That's the base position, the 250s that I have, which are in a little bit of trouble today. I will be honest about that, because the stock is looking like it's going to be around $310 or $320 today when it opens. I don't know, probably go lower. If it does, I've got a plan for that, and I'll talk about that in a minute. If I don't talk about it in a minute, I'm going to plan on rolling those down because I still believe in the stock. I just don't want it to get under my $250 strike price. That's all. Okay, so there's three sections of this. There is the base position cost. Now, I still have a base position. Some of it's realized and some of it's unrealized, but primarily I have 7 positions open according to this sheet, right? So this is how much my base position has cost me, right, from the account. So I still have that as an unrealized position. 7 contracts are open, and this is what they've cost me. Boom. That's number one. Number two, what's the base position market value? So if I wanted to sell it right now, how much could I get for it? Well, I could get $120,000. If you go to 1638 on the video from yesterday, it's $120,780. It's not some convoluted thing that it's you got to add the 250 plus how much I paid for it. Like, that's the market value. If I sold it right there, everything would be closed. There would be nothing left because there's only 7 contracts in the base position. And if I close those, the account is cash. The MicroStrategy portion of the account is cash, right? So you got your base position cost, and if I were to sell it right now or sell it yesterday, like I showed you in the video, it was worth $120,000. Yeah, it's down. Like, the stock is down $220. Like, what do you expect me to make money every week? Some of you trolls, right? Oh yeah, you're down on your position. Great trade. Screw you, man. Like, I'm trying to explain to you what the point is, and I'm going to get to that. But if you bought it for 223 and you sold it for 120, that sucks. I'll admit that sucks. But you know what doesn't suck? The third part of this, and that's all of these trades that I've been showing you for the last 28 days. Okay? 28 days I've shown you all these trades. These are all closed. These are all closed. They're realized. Here's the number. 104,072 is the gain on all of these closed positions. Go add all this stuff up. Even my mistake here and my mistake here. Add them all up. It's $104,000. Now we take, number one, the cost of the base position, okay? The market value, if I were to close it, I call it the walkaway value. Like, if I closed everything out right now, here's how much I would get on this trade. And I might close it out. I don't think I'm gonna, but I might. Like, I don't think anything fundamentally has changed with MicroStrategy, except Bitcoin's gone down. But okay, that could be something. That could be a reason to close down, but that's not in my trading plan, but I might do it. Like, I don't know. So I've got the 223 that I've paid, and then I've got the base position market value. If I were to close it down right now, 120,000, it's dropped below that because the market's pooping right now. So, but then I've gained 104,000. So as of when I made that video yesterday, I've gained 1,302.97, like, for a month of work. And a lot of you are like, hey, great trade. You broke even after a month. The stock is down 220 bucks. That's a cool thing, isn't it? Like, most of you get this, right? If I'm in a stock and it goes down $220 and I'm still even, like, that's a pretty good trade. Or at least it's not a bad trade. Like, I could sell it and get out and break even, right? But what I'm doing is I'm making $15,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a week from the juice. And that's adding to this 104,000. These are realized positions. And so that number is going up. I own the position for free is my goal eventually. But for right now, I haven't lost any money on the position. And by the way, I sold another contract on it yesterday at the money, the 430s. Okay? So, you know, that's the math, right? It's just math. I don't know what your math is, but my math is I take how much I paid, how much could I get if I sold it right now? It's going to be less today, but anyway, using yesterday's math. And then how much have I made on the closed positions? Like, there's no other math. There's nothing in here. There's no adding to the base position. This is the value. 1,302, big deal. Or, that's awesome. You gained 1,302 in a month, but you still have 6 months left to sell against your calls. You know, there's lots of different ways to look at it, I guess. I could say, well, I paid $223,000 for this, and it's only worth $120,000. But since I've got this, I'm now, I've lowered my basis, so my risk is way less than it was when I started. That's another way to look at it. All right, enough on that. I think you kind of get the math. If you don't get the math, I don't want you to comment. I think I'm being really clear on the math. I think I'm being, one more time. I paid this. I could get this if I sold it right now, and I've already made this juice in the last 28 days. Can I get any more transparent than that, trolls? I don't think so. So don't comment. Like, don't tell me that you don't understand what I'm doing. You go back and watch the MicroStrategy series and see if any of this makes sense. And if it doesn't make sense, don't trade it. But don't tell me that I'm wrong. This math is not wrong. All right, enough on that. Now, let me explain to those of you that are still with me and that still care about what I'm doing. This is going to suck today for me and for you and for everybody, right? Nobody likes selling unless you bought puts, right? Even selling puts you're not going to like today. So if you bought puts, cool. I don't buy puts. That's expensive insurance for me, but boy, I would have been smart. But these black swans don't come about every day. where the stock market drops $1,100 in a day and then follows on, and it's going to follow on possibly today unless we have a good inflation report or the government doesn't shut down or whatever, right? Whatever other noise there is. All right, I want to take you through my system because a lot of you are asking, because maybe you didn't watch the first video of the series and follow it along. You're just asking questions because you watched that last video and go, oh, that's cool, you made $104,000. I did make $104,000 in juice, okay? But I'm even, as you know. All right, let me just get back to my agenda here. All right, the system is simple, okay? It's simple but not easy, or easy but not simple, whatever they say about that. It's actually simple, the way I think about it. You buy a base position, you sell against it, okay? When you sell against it, you get time premium. There's two parts of a premium in an option. There's the in-the-money amount, if it's in the money. If it's not, the in-the-money amount is zero. You get that? There's the in-the-money amount and the out-of-the-money amount. That's it. There's no other components of the premium, the price of an option. So you've got your in-the-money amount and you've got your out-of-the-money amount. I don't like the out-of-the-money amount. That sounds like a third grader says it. I also don't like extrinsic value. That's like a lawyer says it. I like juice, okay? This is the juice. We're after this juice. And every week you sell the juice and you buy it back for almost nothing prior to expiration. Every week, this is what you're after, is this part here. The in-the-money amount is going to move up and down. Either it's going to be deeper in the money or it's going to be deeper out of the money, and in which case there's zero value. But I don't care about all that. And this is what most of you don't understand, or not most of you. A lot of trolls don't understand is that I'm not here about the in-the-money amount. I'm not here for the MicroStrategies going up or Tesla's going up or, NVIDIA's going up or down. That's not what we do. That's what everybody else does. In here, what I do is I care about this. Now, this has been good because it's buffered my account, but it hasn't been awesome because the account's, the price of the thing has gone from a high of 543 down to 320 or wherever it's going to open today. Okay? That has not been good. So, could I have predicted the stock better? I don't know. Most of you were saying that I was a fool to be selling at the money because this thing was going to take off because I got added to the NASDAQ 100. I don't care what the news is, guys. I don't care. There's news. There's news in every stock. There's FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt in everything you're going to trade. If you listen to Kramer, he's going to tell you one thing, and he's usually wrong, so do the opposite, by the way. But there's always going to be news. There's always going to be people trying to scare you out of your stock. That's Wall Street's game. Trust me, I was on Wall Street. I know this game, and I've seen this for 45-something years now. I've watched people get taken out of their stock at the worst possible time. Now, if it's part of your plan, cool. All right. So that's what we do is it's a simple thing. We buy the position, the base position, we sell the juice against it. The juice over time, if the stock doesn't go out of business or if the stock doesn't tank, incredibly, and we try to protect the account during bad markets. So we try to be in the money or at least at the money to maximize our juice so that we have some cushion. And in markets that are going up, maybe we're at the money and maybe a little out of the money, right? To try to maximize if it's going up. It's not that hard, right? But most people never hear this. Everybody else that talks about covered calls on Wall Street talks about buying the stock and selling out of the money. Well, if you've been selling out of the money while the stock has been dropping 200 points, you haven't really been helping yourself. Notice how I've done a lot of trades at the money and a couple of trades in the money that have saved my bacon, right? So that's what I'm trying to show you here. So that's the way the system works. We try to buy the right stock, which I think we have, in the right market, which we don't have, right? But I'm not entering the position here, and I generally don't go to cash, by the way. But you could make that a part of your plan. Right stock, right market, at the right spot on the chart, right? Which we're not at. We're in a consolidation or a drop, and then we squeeze the juice. The juice is the biggest component of probability in our favor because that's outside energy coming into our account every week. So every week, some gambler is paying us juice to have the right to take our stock, okay? Now, the stock could go up over the strike, and I want to address that. If it goes over the strike, I'm thrilled. Why am I thrilled? Everybody's like, not everybody, but a lot of you are like, well, if you're over the strike, you're going to get exercised or assigned or whatever you call it, right? You're not. I don't get exercised. I show you every trade. There's been like 2 that I've let expire, right? The rest of them I roll. I buy them back before expiration. I roll to the next strike, collect that juice. Buy it before expiration, roll to the next strike, collect the juice. If I focus on this, 15 to 20 bucks a week that I'm getting per share, or $1,500 per contract, eventually, as long as the stock, doesn't fall precipitously further, especially now, then the juice is going to basically be buying down the price of the base position. Eventually, it's going to be free. In 4 weeks, I've cut it in almost half, right? In 8 weeks, will I have a free position? I hope so, right? My base position, I don't know what it's going to be worth, but I'm probably going to roll that down today to protect the in-the-money value of that. Make sense? Still got 6 months left. All right. The goal here is not to pick the stock, not to pick the direction, not to know where it's going, where it's stopping, where it's going, and how all these people are, figuring out where MicroStrategy. My goal is the juice, right? And you keep watching these trades. I'll put them out there. I'm probably a little embarrassed that I've been in the stock, from this whole range, maybe. On the same time, I'm a little bit proud that I've kind of shown you that you can collect juice every single week and preserve the value of the account, right? I'm breaking even on a stock that's gone 200 bucks. I think you see the power of that, right? Most of you anyway. All right. My goal is to reduce the basis on my stock or my base position to 0 by collecting that juice. Okay, you get that. All right. Everybody needs to have a trading plan. Okay? If you don't have a trading plan, if you're just following somebody on the internet, please don't do that. Have a trading plan. Why do you have a trading plan? This is what I preach to everybody that's in my program. It's like they ask me a question. I'm like, well, what's your trading plan say? Because you're not me and I'm not you. And I'm not, John Doe on the street, right? Because we're all different. You may not be able to handle the kind of moves that I can handle because I've been doing this for 40 years. Or maybe you can. You may not be able to handle a stock like Tesla or MicroStrategy. Maybe you should be an Apple. Maybe you can't handle Apple, or maybe it's too boring for you. Everybody's different. But what is your plan? What is your plan for the markets are going up, when the markets are going sideways, or the markets are going down? What is your plan? What is your plan for risk management? Are you going to cash? Are you trading too big? Are you having trouble sleeping at night because you've bought too many contracts? I don't know what your plan is. So you can't ask me like, what should I do? I can't tell you what you should do. I can tell you what I do, right? But I'm not you. And I got a lot of experience in this, a lot of decades of experience. Okay, last concept, and I touched on it before. We rarely get assigned, okay? We're short these calls, and they're sometimes in the money, and most people think you're going to get assigned. We rarely, I can't say never, but I say rarely get assigned because we roll them. And if the cheap bastards that buy options, we're the sellers, so they buy them from us. The cheap bastards that buy options, if they wanted to buy MicroStrategy at $400, they would have done it. But they're not doing it. They're trying to buy it cheap, have an option, and double, triple, quadruple, 10x their money. So they're spending less money, but the chances of them making money on that are pretty slim. And they don't realize it. We do because we sell options. Okay, so we rarely get assigned. Now, the last thing, and I'm going to kind of finish a couple of housekeeping items here. The last thing is some of you think that this game is always rosy. And so you're sitting there on the side with no skin in the game and you're waiting for me to screw up. Okay? And then you go, pew, pew, look, the bald guy screwed up. Okay? Cool. This trade may not work long term. Maybe I just lose all my money on this MicroStrategy trade. I don't think so. I've done this for a long time and this is part of the game. Stocks go down and the stocks rip your face off going back up. But you know what? I'll let you know. Like, I don't win in every single trade, but I get the probabilities on my side. I think I'm doing this right? Been doing this for a lot of years. I think I'm doing it right. Trying to show you. It's not always rosy though. It was great a couple weeks ago. Remember when stock was going up and I was putting all this juice into the account? I'm still putting the juice in the account, but now people are like, oh yeah, but your base position is going down in value. Yeah, it is. That's what happens with stocks. They go up, they go down, they go sideways. Stocks move around. Some of the big ones that pay a lot of this juice, like MicroStrategy and Tesla, pay a lot of juice because there's a lot of volatility. You got to be able to handle that or trade a different stock. It's not always rosy. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Some of you know that I'm having a program, a live workshop. It's a 4-week thing that's happening on January 15th. I am running out of seats for that. I do mentorship in that program. I like to keep my group small, and I like to get to know people in there. And there's been a lot of demand, frankly, and I'm basically going to be shutting it down pretty quickly here. So we're running out of seats. That's not like a sales ploy, like, oh my God, you've got to get the seats. But I'm just letting you know, like, if you don't take action, or if you haven't taken action and you click on the button and there's no seats and you have to join the wait list for the next one, I'll run another one. There's been a lot of people that are, on the fence and they haven't signed up, and that's cool. Like, I'm not a pressure guy. I'm like, hey, here's what we're doing. If you want to take advantage of this cool program, I am running out of seats. So I just want to be totally transparent. And I don't know when you're watching this, but I could be out of seats by the time you do this. I think I did mention that I sold another call. So I didn't do a video on it because this market's been crazy, and I've been doing a lot of coaching, frankly, for all my mastermind people and for a lot of people that are getting training from us. So I can't make a video on all this stuff anymore. I think I've given you an idea of what I do. The market's been declining, and I think you're getting an idea of what I could do. Could I have done things better? Yeah, I've probably made a couple of errors. I could have rolled sooner, but that's the way it goes. I'm still showing you what I'm doing. It's just I'll probably be doing fewer videos on MicroStrategy as we go forward, just so you know, because I don't want you, first of all, to rely on what I'm doing. Second of all, I think a lot of the learning has happened. You've seen me write it up. You've seen me write it down. I've shown you the math on it. I've shown you the philosophy. If you're getting in and watching this video, you're probably not even understanding what the heck I'm talking about. So you may want to, jump back and watch the other videos in this. Listen, it's almost like I put a course online for free here. This MicroStrategy series, which still to me has 6 months to run, as I said here this morning, is a class on how to handle the life cycle of a trade. I think we're just at the beginning of the life cycle of the trade, but there's a mini cycle in between that. It's gone up, it's gone down. I think it's going to go back up. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't, but I'm going to sit here and collect the juice for as long as I can. All right. I think I've gotten through my list of housekeeping items and things like that. Sorry about the long video, guys, but I got a little bit mad about some of the people that didn't understand my math or were questioning me and my integrity. I don't like that, right? Like, don't question my integrity. That's one of the 4 agreements, right? If you ever read that book, 4 Agreements, don't question somebody's intent or integrity. I'm trying to teach people how to do this. And I have courses. Yes, I have courses because I like to teach people how to do this the right way. But you don't have to buy the course. Like, you can learn a lot of stuff just watching what I'm doing. But just know what I'm doing rather than follow what I'm doing, if you know what I mean, right? All right, listen, thanks for your time. If you stuck to the end, God bless you. You got to hear me rant for about a half an hour. So thanks for sitting here. And thank you very much for those of you that do give me your support. And you guys make those great comments and you tell me that I'm, helping you and all that stuff. I love to help people, so that's my thing. So keep those comments coming. Those of you who are trolls, like, ask yourself, if you're trolling me, where else is this showing up in your life, right? It's one thing to question because you don't understand. It's another thing to criticize because you just want to be negative and you want me to fail. And if you want me to fail, I don't want you on my channel. Okay, because I'm trying to help enough other people, and you know what? I'm probably not hearing from 90% of you who like my channel, and thank you so much for doing that. By the way, if you haven't liked and subscribed and done the notification bell, please do that because it helps me get this information out to a lot of other people, and maybe I can help them, or at least maybe open their eyes to a new way of thinking, which is what this whole thing is, by the way. All right, listen, thanks again. I'll catch you later. Bye. Hey, it's Mark Yegan. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button right now. It helps get the same kind of material out to other people and helps me grow the channel a little bit. Also, if you would like the video, if you think it's cool, great. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down, but tell me why you're giving me a thumbs down so I can get better. And then hit the notification bell, and that way you get the videos as soon as they come out, because I give you timely information a lot of the time, and you want to know what happens before that information gets stale. Thanks for being here.